Welcome back, everyone. Today, I have something truly haunting for you. Imagine a place that traps you, a town that watches you, waiting for you to make one wrong move. This story is based on a real legend, a place known as CRUX Ridge. If you're someone who thinks a small town is always cozy and peaceful, this story might change your mind. So, get comfortable, but not too comfortable, because the story of CRUX Ridge just might make you rethink those charming mountain getaways. And hey, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're into horror stories like this, and drop a comment with your name and city, so I know where my brave listeners are tuning in from. Now let's get into it. It all started with a curious journal I found in an antique shop in Asheville. The journal's cover read, in faded ink, "The Crux." Inside, the pages were filled with strange symbols and haunting stories of a small mountain town called CRUX Ridge. There was one page in particular that wouldn't leave my mind. The town of CRUX Ridge holds secrets that should never be known. They say the soil itself is cursed, that the land remembers every wrong, and if you hear the bell at midnight, run. The words struck me like a warning, but my curiosity got the best of me. Within days, I was on the road, heading straight to this forgotten town. When I finally reached CRUX Ridge, I could feel an unsettling vibe from the start. It wasn't the usual small-town charm that draws you in. It felt hollow, as if the whole place was holding its breath, waiting for something. The few people I saw seemed tense, casting quick glances my way, then looking down just as fast. The only place open was a dusty old inn. The woman at the front desk stared at me with wide, almost fearful eyes. "Are you here alone?" she whispered. I nodded, trying to stay calm. "Just passing through. Thought I'd check out the town." She glanced over her shoulder, then leaned in close. "Don't go wandering after dark, especially near the tower, and if you hear the bell, stay inside, no matter what." Hearing her say those words made me freeze. The same warning from the journal. What had I walked into? I knew I should have listened, but sometimes the line between bravery and stupidity gets a little blurry. Just before midnight, I found myself walking toward the center of town, where a stone tower loomed over the other buildings. It was ancient, taller than anything I'd ever seen, with a bell at the top that seemed to glow in the moonlight. As I got closer, I thought I heard a whisper. I stopped, listening. It called my name, a raspy, hoarse voice echoing from within the tower. My heart was racing, but I felt drawn to it, like I had to get closer. Then, the bell began to toll. The sound was so deep it seemed to shake my bones, filling my head with disturbing images. Twisted trees, shadowed faces, and worst of all, a dark figure standing in the middle of it all. I turned to leave, but I saw them, townspeople standing in the shadows, watching me with blank, empty eyes. Out of the darkness, a figure emerged. He was tall and cloaked in black, his face hidden beneath a hood. The townspeople parted for him, like shadows retreating from fire. This was the judge, the figure I'd read about in the journal. I felt a cold sweat run down my spine. "You've come to the Crux," he said, his voice like grinding stones. "Few ever leave here. Do you understand the cost of curiosity?" I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. He lifted a bony finger, pointing at the ground. I looked down, and there it was, a twisted, ancient symbol glowing beneath my feet, just like the one drawn in the journal. "This is the mark of those who defy the laws of CRUX Ridge," he whispered. "The soil here does not forgive trespassers, and now you belong to it." The ground began to shift beneath me, like it was about to swallow me whole. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. As darkness closed in, the last thing I saw was the judge's face, a sinister smile stretching across his pale skin. I woke up the next morning in my room at the inn, drenched in sweat, the events of the night feeling like a bad dream. But when I looked down at my wrist, I saw it, a burn mark in the shape of that strange symbol from the night before. Panicked, I ran downstairs, but the inn was empty. The front desk, the chairs, even the street outside, silent and deserted, like a scene frozen in time. I tried to leave the town, but every road led me back to the center, back to that cursed bell tower. It was like CRUX Ridge was keeping me here, and there was no escape. The days dragged on, blending into each other as I roamed the empty streets. At night, I would hear the bell toll again, and each time I felt myself slipping further into a daze, like the place was draining my very spirit. Slowly, I realized that I was becoming one of them. Just another silent soul watching from the shadows, waiting for the next unlucky visitor. So if you're ever in the Appalachian Mountains and hear a bell tolling in the distance, turn back. Because CRUX Ridge doesn't just let you visit, it makes you stay. If you enjoyed this story and want more chilling tales, please subscribe for more like this every week. And I want to know who's out there listening. Leave a comment with your name and city. Let me know if you'd be brave enough to visit a place like CRUX Ridge. Until next time, stay safe and watch where your curiosity takes you.